Hello, Patriots. I'm Lee Watts, and this is Patriot Point, your source for Kentucky news and analysis from a conservative, Christian, and common sense point of view. Well, we have a topic of utmost importance this week, and if you read the description of this video, you can probably guess what this topic is.
Isn't that taxation without representation?
By golly, it is.
Yes, by golly, it's the taxation without representation. There are right now today 3 Kentucky counties that are being taxed but are being denied representation in the Kentucky State Legislature on purpose because of a vendetta. So this has got me upset, and I think every patriot in the state of Kentucky should be upset by this.
I understood you to be patriot.
If you mean by patriot, am I angry about taxation without representation? Well, yes, I am.
Darn right. So let me tell you what's going on right now. Kentucky's 24th House District. The representative there represents Hart County, Greene County, and LaRue County. And this person was just elected in a special election and has been denied being put on any committees. So the people of Hart County, LaRue County, and Greene County, you don't get to have any voting say on anything else being done by the legislature for the remainder of the year. Now, why the legislature is not passing laws for the remainder of the year, they are still meeting in session. They don't start making laws up in January. No, they start working on the next year's laws during the summer. And these counties have been denied that. Why is that? It's because a representative, a lady by the name of Courtney Gilbert, she actually stood up to the Speaker of the House of Representatives, called him out for doing some things which weren't really conservative things to do. So he refuses to assign her to any committees at all. Now, this is wrong to do this as a vendetta, and it's not the first time he has done that. Just last year, we had multiple of the conservative element of the House of Representatives stand up against Speaker Osborne, and he stripped all of these Republicans of all of their committee assignments. So this is something that he has done repeatedly. At the same time, he is assigning the Democrats to committee meetings, hasn't stripped any of them from all of their committees, but he does keep stripping the Republicans, the conservative element, as a vendetta, saying you're not going to get any say in what's going on right now. Now, he and his staff are giving excuses right now, saying, well, she doesn't need to be on the committees because there's nothing important going on this summer anyway. I don't believe that. I believe the work of the legislature throughout the summer and the fall and the winter is actually important. If it's not important, why are they meeting? If it's not important, why are we paying the legislators to go up there? So you know what? I think it is important. And don't give me this idea that, well, she was just recently elected. You know, on the same day that she was elected and put into office, there was another representative, the representative from the 26th House District, Mr. Peyton Griffey. He was elected and inaugurated the same day. He's been assigned to committees. Why is that? Why? Because Ms. Gilbert stood up and pushed back against Speaker Osborne. So this is wrong. It's a vendetta. They're also giving the excuse, well, she's only going to be filling in until the first of the year, and then in January, there'll be a new representative. I want everybody and their dog to keep this in mind. There's elections this year. So every single member of the Kentucky House of Representatives might not be there come January. So they're all filling in until that time of the year. And yet they have been given committee assignments. The Democrats have. So I think the Republicans who actually stand up have a spine. The people of their district deserve a right to have a voting member in these committees. So if you would like to contact the Speaker of the House, David Osborne, here's his telephone number. I hope you'll call him. Phone number is 502-645-2186. Say, listen, this is simply, we are being taxed, but we are not being represented. And even if you don't live in these particular counties, it still should be something to get every patriot in Kentucky upset that there are Kentuckians being taxed, and yet they don't have a voting representative on these committees.
Isn't that taxation without representation?
By golly, it is.
And just let me give you a little history of Mr. Osborne as well. This is not up for debate. This is something which it did happen. You can check it in the record. In 2021, there was a bill called Senate Bill 6, and it would say Kentucky voting machines these things will not be allowed to be hooked up to the internet, and they can't have anything in there that would allow a wireless connection. This passed the Senate, and it passed the House of Representatives at a vote of 96-1. Now, of course, Andy Beshear, he wants the voting machines connected to the internet, so he vetoed this. Do you realize every single veto of Andy Beshear that year was overridden except this one? Why? Not because the representatives didn't vote on it. David Osborne, single-handedly as a Speaker of the House, refused to let this come up for a vote to override. The Senate overrode the veto. It went over to the House, and he called up every veto except this one and didn't even let the House of Representatives vote on it, and they did have plenty of time to do that. So these are just some of the things I think we need to keep in mind. This is the phone number. Now remember, when you call, even though I'm upset about this, and I hope you are as well, when you call, don't curse these people out. Remember to be courteous, be brief, and ask them, hey, contact me back with what you're going to be doing, because this is the way that we can be effective and still maintain a good testimony. Be brief, be courteous, and say, what are you going to be doing about that? Because the people of these counties deserve to have voting representation in the committees. Well, that's some of the things we've got going on this week. That's one of the reasons why, again, elections are coming up in about 2.5 weeks. On May the 21st will be the primary elections. And I've been serving up at the Capitol for 15 years. And every election cycle, there's 2 or 3 representatives that get up there and win by just a handful of votes. Almost every time somebody wins by 1 vote. When you get to these local county elections, every vote counts. In some states, they count 2 or 3 times. That's why everybody needs to go out there, do your part. Maybe you could volunteer to help some of the great candidates that we have running that are going to stand up for constitutional principles, conservative principles, and actually have a spine and are willing to push back against the swamp. So make sure you go out there and volunteer for people. In fact, I'm actually organizing a volunteer event. It is going to be this coming Saturday, May the 11th, and we will be meeting at 10 a.m. over in Hodgenville, Kentucky at 118 North Lincoln Boulevard, helping this great conservative candidate by the name of Asa Wagner. I've known Mr. Wagner for years. He is highly intelligent. He is courageous. He's conservative. He's just the kind of person that I think every patriot in the state would like to have representing them in the state legislature. And again, even if you don't live in this district, let's help a real patriot get into office. I hope to see a lot of you May the 11th over in Hodgenville. And talking about people showing up, a lot of people have been showing up here on Patriot Point supporting the channel. Just this last month, we had more than 50 new subscribers to the channel. We're getting really close to that 12,000 mark. My wife says maybe I should do some kind of big event when we reach 12,000 subscribers, like maybe shave my head or something.
A gesture which becomes less significant with each passing year.
Yes, that wouldn't actually be very much nowadays. But thank you to everybody who has subscribed. You are making a difference. Every time you like or subscribe, it helps share that with other people and helps the conservative patriots of Kentucky have a bigger impact. So thanks for all that. It is making a difference. And until next week, Patriots, I'm Lee Watts for Patriot Point, reminding you that liberty is not a spectator sport.
I understood you to be patriot.
If you mean by patriot, am I angry about taxation without representation? Well, yes, I am.